This is Blair. She's one of our livestock guardian dogs. So Blair is in here, way up in the woods with about 50 sheep, and she's supposed to be staying with the sheep, but what I've noticed is she's starting to hang out with this goat right here, and goat's a bad influence. During the day, a lot of times what I find is I see them in the barn together by the horse. Goat's supposed to be with the horse, Blair's supposed to be with the sheep, and Blair and the goat start hanging out together. And so what I did tonight is I came up here trying to sneak up on her, and she was up there with the sheep patrolling around. So one of the cool things about these collars, you can see that Blair has on a NoFence small ruminant collar. So it's a collar meant for sheep and goats. And one of the cool things is that I can set her parameters, and so I can see where she's at. So whenever I was concerned that Blair wasn't guarding the sheep, what I did was I just logged in and I looked at where she'd been. This is the NoFence app, and I've gotten into Blair's collar here. It's 124 or 129 in the afternoon, and I could see that she's in this clump of trees. That this is right where the sheep are at. This field to the left of the tree line is where the sheep are at. Over here is where the horse barn is. And so the question is, where is she at different times of the day? If I hit tracking, this will let me see where she's been. And it's important to notice I don't have great cell coverage up here, so this is just when I get coverage. But you can see all the points today are just in this area where the sheep are at. If I hit last week, you can see that she's roamed all around every corner of this field, all the way up to the very top. So she was up there one day at 3:20 in the afternoon. I don't know what she was doing up there, but she felt like she needed to go up there. A lot of the times when I was seeing her at the horse barn, it was during the middle of the day. And so she would go in, and we don't get coverage there, but she would lay inside the horse barn when it was hot. The interesting thing is if you zoom in here up where the sheep are at, you know, you see her there at 2:57 in the morning, at 1 a.m. in the morning. That's 7 p.m. at night. And so what you see is that when it's cooler, she's up patrolling around the sheep area. So this made me feel a lot better. I see her laying around the barn a lot when it's hot, but I don't necessarily need her to stay with the sheep always. I really need her to patrol and to do a good job of keeping them safe. So that's my daily interaction with Blair. Come up and pet her for a minute, give her some food, and leave her alone. Other than that, she stays up here in this field. She has about 50 sheep up here and one goat. And this is a remote area. This is up here in the woods, no houses, nothing around. Big mountain right behind us. Well, I don't know if it's a big mountain, but it's a big wooded tract behind us. It's full of bears and coyotes. And as long as Blair's in this field, we don't lose sheep to predators. We have had it in the past where we've had sheep around this area and haven't had a livestock guardian dog, and we've lost a lot of sheep. So livestock guardian dogs are really key to having sheep in this area. So here are the sheep back behind me. There are about 50 of them in here, and Blair's our protector. They do a good job in here of eating the honeysuckle, and there's some bicolor lespedisa that's growing pretty thick back where they are right now. I'm sure that's what they're eating. We have a lot of the native grasses up here on this hilltop where it's pretty dry. And sometimes I'll have people ask me, what do you do to train your livestock guardian dogs? You know, I'm reminded of the first time my black lab saw water. When she was a puppy, we threw her in the water, and she immediately knew how to swim. And not just knew how to swim, but loved it. It's instinct. I didn't teach a dog to swim. She knew how. It's the same thing with border collies. You don't teach a border collie to herd. they're born knowing how to herd. They know more about herding than I ever will. All I have to do is teach them some basic commands and learn to communicate with them. I think livestock guardian dogs are no different. If you have a dog that doesn't have the instinct to do it, you can't teach them how to guard. What you have to do is find dogs that have instinct, that have the want to and the know-how to guard. And then after that, you've just got to teach them some basic things. Our biggest struggle is when they're puppies, teaching them how to not kill chickens. That's one of the things we have to work on, is teaching them they're not allowed to kill chickens. Teaching them they've got to stay in the fence. These collars have been key to that. We never would be able to teach them that they've got to stay in the fence if we didn't have the collars. It was very, very, very difficult before we got the collars on them. Teaching them they can't get after stock. You've got to watch them when they're puppies, that they don't chase little lambs, and you've got to get onto them when they do that. With chickens, all of our dogs killed chickens a couple times when they were young. Chickens are more expendable than dogs are, so we just have to work through that. So really, what you're not trying to teach them so much as there's a few things you got to help them understand, like don't chase the stock, don't get out on the highway, those kinds of things. But the biggest thing you've got to do is not pull the instinct out of them, and I think that's the real key. So they need to always be with the livestock. The dog never goes in the house. She doesn't know what the house is. She doesn't like going in the car. She gets in the truck, that means she's going to the vet. And so anytime you do something that has the potential to pull the instinct out of them, you're putting them in a spot where they may end up failing. So find dogs with the instinct, with the ability and the know-how and the want to do the job, and then don't ruin them. That's pretty much the secret. So this is Blair. She's about 18 months old. She was born January of 2025, and it's August of 26 now, and she's out here guarding by herself at about 1.5 years old and doing a great job. So I'm very happy with her, and I'm glad she's part of the farm. That's her collar. It's on her. Her brother Bernard's over at another location with one of the older dogs, and her mom is up at our house. So we have 4 livestock guardian dogs. Blair's out here doing this job right now. So one of the things I always do is I always leave her with food when I leave. I don't want her to follow me to the gate. I want her to stay here in her spot, and I find food's the best way to do it. So I always feed her very last when I'm leaving. That way she gets used to the idea of not following me to the gate, that I'm gonna leave, she's gonna stay here. I think it's an important thing for her to know.